Hello, welcome to Butts to Nuts, a movie review podcast hosted by me, Ben Charlesworth, and my brother Adam Jones.
Come on!
Here's Adam!
After a year and a half!
Adam is fucking on the podcast.
Fuck yeah!
Okay, we just have to
Didn't see
say
that one coming, did you?
that this
Fuck
has
no.
been a fucking long time coming.
Yes.
It has been.
This has been in the
I
works.
remember when I first asked Scott about coming on the pod. This would have been...
It was millennia ago,
It was.
back when the ancient pyramids were still being built.
Well, Scott
That
had
is
hair on his
correct.
balls.
Yeah, I
That
did have
was-
hair. Back when I had hair on my balls, it all
Before,
fell out.
I said before, but...
Before you fucking
You've
idiot.
lost
Well, I actually had it, and then I lost it, and then I've got it again.
Nigel plucked it himself.
That's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut.
That's for Patreon users.
You pay to see, you do. Well, I feel like you introduce Adam.
Okay.
You know him better than me.
Adzi, he's the man himself.
No, introduce him properly.
Okay. All right. We have a very special guest on the Butts to Nuts podcast today.
Wow.
A pop culture extraordinaire, enthusiast, even an expert, I would even say. A master of excavations, siege extraordinaire as well, and a soccer champion, Mr. Adam Jones.
Thank you very much for having me, boys.
Give him a round of applause.
Entrepreneur, all-round good guy.
I feel fucking pumped to be on this podcast.
Oh,
I can tell
yeah.
you that much for free.
It's so good. And wearing a fantastic shirt.
Sponsored by Tui's today. And also...
Oh, yeah.
Oak chocolate milk.
Delicious.
Now, I do want to say, as Scott's running around like a fucking idiot trying to get his oak chocolate
What a
milk.
fucking loser.
Right. As you can see, oak chocolate milk, we're actually being sponsored today. So
Yeah, we
they
are.
sponsor
Totally.
the Penrith Panthers, who are obviously three-peat Premier champions.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Don't.
thought they'd take a punt on us.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
cheers to oak.
Yeah, no, cheers to that.
three
Cheers,
peats.
lads. And you know what? They did beat the Eels last night, which is very...
Yeah, so they done good.
Yeah. It's 2-point
2
win.
points.
Get it past the label.
Oh, yum. Yum, yum, yum.
Oh, that could have gone on in one sip. Scott's gone in one sip. I can't do that, but I want to enjoy my oak.
I want to have that just tickling at the back of my throat.
I have a serious problem.
I think you do. I'm just glad I didn't spill any on my white shirt.
We all have addictions. Scott's addicted to milk. I'm addicted to meth. You're
And I'm
addicted
addicted to dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Dirt and moving sandstone around.
Fuck yeah.
And also, Batman.
Yeah, man.
Ah, that is the movie that we watched today. Batman Begins came out in 2005, which we were all saying before we started watching the movie as well, how fucking long ago that is and how
19
ridiculous.
years.
19 years.
That's insane.
Fuck. Well, let's all try and remember where we were 19 years ago. My God.
Well, I was 4.
I was in the womb.
Craig would have been 1 year old.
Yeah,
yeah.
it would have been. Yeah, it's
And
true.
Nigel, I guess, was still kicking. Another deep cut.
Not anymore. Patreon users for more. We're really sourcing out the Patreon today.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no,
That's amazing.
Deep cut central in here.
Oh,
Well-
do you?
Oh, fucking what?
Christ.
Jesus!
fucking
No,
Christ.
we do
Now-
we do read out a synopsis.
Before we do the synopsis, though,
fucking-
Adam, I want to pose a question over to you.
Okay.
What made you want to decide to pick this movie for today?
Well, I'm going to be bold here, and I could be very, very bold. I
Brave
think
in the bold?
this is the best movie to start a trilogy of all time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big-
So, look, there's obviously... Look, it was in 2005. There's been a lot of trilogies post and pre.
This
Yeah.
is right.
Obviously,
It's correct.
you'd think in your 2000s, you'd think Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
well, kind of that's post. You'd think Transformers is one. You'd think, like, kind of us growing up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lord
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Rings, I guess that was
Lord of the
around,
Rings
yeah.
is another big
Big-
one.
Massive
But-
blockbusters.
This, for me, this
Yeah.
is what kickstarts the DC versus Marvel
Yeah. Definitely
Yes.
does.
that became blockbusters. Like,
Oh.
this was the blockbuster of blockbusters.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You know what? I think before we do get into the synopsis and everything, this set the dark tone for DC that almost kind of, to its detriment in some ways for later movies, but in this sense with Christopher Nolan, it just kick-started a different vibe to superheroes that people hadn't seen on the screen before.
I think they
like-
actually did it too well that nothing else could compete with it.
Big moves.
Yeah.
Big moves.
Well,
yeah.
it's true. The only thing that would keep up with it,
Yeah.
that is close to it, is probably when Superman got rebooted again.
Yeah.
In 2013,
13, I think. Yeah, yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Around that time.
It's a gritty retelling of Batman, and I think people were ready for it after we had the
goofy
Sam-
90s ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, the goo-
I'm talking about the Batman movies. And
But
stuff.
even like
Yeah.
Raimi Spider-Man, fantastic, but there is an element of theatrical goofiness to
It's
them
still
as well.
in the 90s. It's still caught in
like
that
in early
segment.
2000s as well. Like even the X-Men movies as well, they have that
True.
kind of bit of a cheesiness. This was just
No.
jump in, fucking serious. We're not pulling any punches here.
No, bitches are getting drugged. Like, shit's getting real, man.
It's getting fucked. All right, I'll lay some synopsis on you. Now, this was a Wikipedia synopsis, so get ready.
Don't get me too hard.
Yeah.
In Gotham, after falling down a well and getting swarmed by bats, a young Bruce Wayne develops a fear of them.
What?
That's it.
That's Wikipedia for you.
End of the podcast. We're
That's
done.
it. We're finished. We're done here.
There's got to be more than that.
There was more than that, but I didn't have enough time to write the rest down. So the rest is up to your interpretation.
We're
of
actually
how-
just doing half of the synopsis today.
Yeah.
We're just making the rest of it up.
And we're only talking about the first half of the
Yeah,
movie as
exactly.
well. Yeah.
Fuck the rest of it.
Well, no, it's a two-parter.
It's a
so
two-part.
we'll we'll get you back in next year to do the second half of the film.
Sounds good.
This podcast is all about mystery, so it's actually leaving your mind open to new things.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give you 10 seconds to guess what's going to happen for the rest of the podcast. And then we're going to continue.
And then we're going to continue. All right, should we talk about our first point?
God, no.
Fuck off.
I mean, if we're talking about him falling down a well, how did he not...
Okay, that's... Look, this is a great movie, but I'm sorry. I'm guessing he's, what, 5, 6 years old?
Yeah, he's
At
a
this
young
point,
boy.
Okay, this is the start of the movie, so this is
Shit
when he's...
haircut, by
I
the
would
way.
say
Yeah.
I would say 10. I think he's about 10 years old there.
He looks a little... Okay, anyway,
Maybe
that's
he's
not
9.
the point. That's not the point.
Yeah, true.
We're at the start of the movie. He's playing hide and seek with his friend, whatever the
Mrs.
fuck it is.
Rachel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's
And,
Rachel.
Yeah, that was with
they're
Rachel.
playing hide and seek, and anyway, I think she goes and hides, and he's trying to find her. Oh no, he's
Yeah.
hiding. She's finding him.
Yes,
because
that's
he's
right,
hiding
yeah.
behind the well. Then he walks on it.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
anyway, for the listeners who are not watching,
Yeah. Watch us.
anyway, he pretty much is hiding behind the well, and then she kind of finds him, and then he walks up to like go back out to obviously they swap places,
Of course, yeah.
and
yeah.
then he stands on some old rotted timber. And falls like 30 fucking meters, and he's completely fine. Like, how does that work?
And then his dad just picks him up. He's like, all right, we better go to the hospital and check for an x-ray. Next, like, scene, he's just walking around.
that
just
doesn't happen.
Completely perfect.
He's fine.
Really, he should be scared of wells, not bats, though, when you're thinking about it. Like, he should be well man.
Empty wells.
Yeah,
That's
well
real
man.
fear.
He runs
Yeah.
around throwing water at people instead.
When Ra's al Ghul gives him the little flower to drink, he should just be like, holy fuck, he's turned into a well.
Wells! I can't fall!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's a very good point. There is a lot of like logic with the. I mean, you could like do the same thing with Batman flying in the sky with
That is
his.
true.
But like, I think it's the super aspect of it where it's like, you can kind of brush it under the rug a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, stupid kid fell down a well. You
Yeah,
dumb
no,
fuck.
it's not him falling down the well. It's that he's perfectly fine. Like,
He's perfectly fine.
Okay, so if you pushed a 9-year-old off a fucking 20-meter cliff, you're not telling me they're not going to snap a
They're
leg
spongy,
or
though.
You can
Their-
speak
Their
for
bones
yourself
aren't
there.
grown.
something. They're dense.
They got rubbery arms.
How'd you guys rate the parents getting shot? Because you know they do it in
Wow.
like every,
Loved it, man.
every film.
I like the fuck off, Scott,
Oh
you
man, I
grim
loved
fuck.
it. It was so good.
I mean, I like how Nolan related it, to the actual fear of bats. It's not just like in everyone, his parents
Yeah.
get shot, but it's stupid because you know it's coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
This one, he forces his parents to take him out of the play because he's getting scared.
That
Yeah.
bit I liked because
I like it
he
too.
has the guilt then.
Yes. He
and he's
does,
like,
yeah.
fuck,
Not
vengeance.
where every other time it's just, someone shot my parents and I need to fuck them up.
And then we're just going to train for 18 years and then boom, we're ready for being Batman. Like it's a really good progression. The
It is.
whole
That
start.
start
It's well
bit, yeah.
paced.
Yeah, I would like to know. I mean, like obviously he just probably just kind of mulled in his room for like
he
a
would've
couple of
for-
years, and
yeah.
he's just like, "Fuck, I'm so depressed," and he's like, "Nah, fuck this."
But I guess you
What
know,
a sad fapping.
when you're in a movie like Batman, no one wants to see that shit. They want to see obviously the parents dying, and then they want to see him become who he's supposed to.
It's
become.
all about iconic moments.
It is.
Yes, exactly.
That's the same with Superman. Same with any of those great, superheroes.
Yeah, you
that are
kind
on
of do
the
a bit of a
screen.
time jump through the
Yeah.
adolescent period.
But I like how they went forward and then they went back.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was good.
Not just go forward the whole time, because you get to see both sides of the story then.
Christopher Nolan's very good at this. Memento is a good example
Yeah,
of
yeah,
him
it's a
going
good movie.
forwards and backs constantly. It's a bit of a mind fuck though. Like this is like reeling it in a little bit.
Well,
but it's
this
good.
is-
It's good to do that because it gives the audience little seeds of interest.
Yeah.
And a bit
It
of
always
context
keeps
here
you
and
on your
there.
toes, because
That's
something's
right.
always going to happen.
If they just
Exactly.
opened with the parents getting shot, you'd be
Yeah,
like,
like,
it's
oh,
just like every other one.
Yeah.
And the same thing is, you always keep interested with going forward and back.
Yeah.
You think something's going to happen, so you need to be involved. You need to be alert to what's happening, because you think something important's going to happen, and you're
Yeah.
going to miss it.
Exactly.
And then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And the
I
start,
fucking missed it.
the start felt like the first 40 minutes felt very individual compared to the rest of the movie. And I
Yeah.
like that. Like where he's
Yeah.
training with all Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows.
Well,
Yeah.
It's fucking, what's his name? It's
Liam
not Ra's
Neeson.
al Ghul, yeah. It's
Oh,
he is
yeah.
disguised as
Yeah.
Ducard. That's
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
What did you guys think about him getting trained by like the
Ra's al
League?
Ghul.
Yeah, and the League
Yeah.
of Shadows instead of him training himself like
Well,
the
I'm
normal
pretty
story.
sure he does get trained by the League of
He
Shadows
does.
in
He
the
always
comics.
does. Even
Oh,
in
well,
the
there you
comics,
go.
yeah.
Well, it depends on the iteration though.
Yeah.
The older version of Batman is just him training himself, but I'm pretty sure. Don't
Well,
quote me on
if
it.
you think about the Batman, that's
Yeah.
what he does.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
He's part of the shadows. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
no,
liked it.
but training
I
with
liked it
them.
too.
Yeah.
It shows the other side, which doesn't get shown much.
Yeah. His son, who is now the latest Robin in the comics, Damian Wayne,
Yes.
also is the
That
the
is-
son of him and Talia al Ghul.
Which is the one
Yeah.
I wish they did. I wish they not explored, but I wish they gave.
I think they're gonna
a
do
role
it.
to Talia. Like you see her,
Yeah,
she's a part
true.
of that story.
That would
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah.
Because not that I'm sure they thought about it or didn't just brush over it, but that's a big part of Batman. as
Oh,
well.
imagine if
Yeah.
there was like a jealousy thing between Talia and Rachel, and they worked that in the story.
and
It's
they
like,
just
bitch,
fucking
please.
bitch fight it at
Yeah.
the end.
Oh, that'd be
That's
great.
the ultimate finale.
Would have been hot.
Spoiler alert, instead of Ra's al Ghul dying on a train, it's just them two scrapping. Race and him are just watching.
That's right.
15 minutes just them eating popcorn, just watching. Just putting bets on, little cheeky multis. I'd
Yeah.
love
Well-
to see that.
I've
No, I actually noticed something there, Adam, when you were talking about Ra's al Ghul instead of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, true.
Which I agree with. His pronunciation should be Ra's al Ghul because that's how it was in the animated series.
Yeah, well, that's
and in
where
the
I got it
Arkham
from.
games. Yeah, that's it.
It's always
But-
been Ra's, not Raz.
yeah, that's right. But then I remember like getting in this argument with someone, a close family friend, saying, "No,
We're putting multis on.
put
Fuck
multis
you.
on, guess who it was."
If you say Ra's 6 times, you get your money back.
But just saying like, no, it's Ra's al Ghul, and they're like, no, it's Raz. It's like they say it in the movie, and I'm just like, Nolan, you fucked it there, bruh.
Who
Yeah.
was it? We're saying we'll beep it out. Go. Who was it?
It was Macca.
Oh.
We're not bleeping that out, by the way. That's fucking
That's
staying in.
Yeah,
That's in.
yeah, it was.
So it was Macca.
Yeah.
It was Macca. It was Macca. Anyway.
Do you want to say it anymore? Say it one more time.
Well, just so we
in
can't-
unison, one more time. 3, 2, 1. Macca.
All right. You fucked it. You said it was.
Man, that editing is gonna be so bad.
No, you're not going to edit it out. What were you
Nah,
going to
I'll
say?
just leave it in.
Like I was telling the boys before, after the 1995, as we were saying, I think it was Clooney was the last one before
Yeah.
Christian.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
The
Yeah.
studio wanted to. I wrote this down.
Oh, a bit of
Studio
trivia.
wanted to
We
get
like this.
Darren Aronofsky in, who was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to get him in to film it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he was doing some other project at the time.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it. So I was saying to Ben and Scott before, this movie is somehow filled up with backups.
Yeah, the whole
So
lot.
Christopher Nolan was never supposed to be the director.
No.
Really?
Christian Bale was never supposed to be the lead.
Wow.
Heath Ledger was trialing for the lead at one point.
What?
I didn't know this.
And then
Did not know this.
Christian and him came to an agreement that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
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 And Christian said to him, "Look, we want to work with you in the future. You're extremely talented. Obviously, spoiler alert, next movie,
He's Bane, of course.
Shut up, you cunt." So,
Wow, that's some good bit of trivia right there.
Well,
Are you going to
yeah,
compete
so-
with that, Ben?
Oh, fuck no.
Darren was supposed to direct, and Clint Eastwood, who would have been 75 at the time of making that movie, was supposed to play Batman.
What?
What?
I'm not joking. Clint Eastwood, who was going to be 75.
Feeling lucky,
What about the scene where he's on fire and he jumps out the window? If that was Clint Eastwood falling on the car, he'd snap in half.
Snap! You just crumble like a bundle of sticks.
I suppose they probably did it because big name,
Yeah.
moneymaker.
It just makes no sense that Clint Eastwood
fear
is
gas
70.
No, it doesn't, but
Yeah, that's insanity.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he gets
Good
the
bit of
fear
trivia.
gas, you just see high interest rates. Just like, oh, it's bringing me back.
it's too much.
Numb flashbacks. Oh, God.
Also, another bit of quick trivia for you. So when they got all the writers together and stuff, it was
Yeah.
Nolan. They got I'm trying to think of David Goyer, who was most known for Blade.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
got him as the co-writer in.
Cool.
They wrote it in Nolan's garage, the whole script,
You're kidding.
in 8 weeks, and he was so paranoid about a plot leak, he invited the Warner Bros. Executive directors to read it in his garage.
Garage party,
to
yeah.
this day, Christopher Nolan does not use phones or emails to email scripts. You come to him and you read it.
Oh,
That is
he's
great.
Through
He's
the
like the
writing
real
phase.
life Falcone. Like you come to his little joint
Yeah.
and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
everyone's smoking their cigars, writing scripts. Fuck
He's
me.
so paranoid about it. So that shows you the level of like, because you think about how many superhero movies have been leaked something, done something.
All the
this.
time.
Most recently,
Nolan's
we
movies.
won't talk too much about it because you haven't seen the movie yet. But Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yeah, it got leaked.
Leak Central.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen some leaks
I
and
have.
stuff, haven't you?
So when
Yeah.
when you think about Nolan movies, zero.
yeah,
There's been no leaks.
no, he
No,
keeps it under
that's
wraps.
true, yeah.
Wow,
That's why, because he's
Yeah.
paranoid.
You reckon they're hotboxing in that garage or what?
Oh, totally.
Fuck.
They're getting cooked. They're getting absolutely marinated in there. Going, fuck. I reckon Batman should swing off this building and
Bit of like
yeah.
Scarecrow's fear gas. Just
They put the fucking Hessian sack over their heads and go, oh man.
Well, should we talk about the villains? Because there was a few that appeared.
We'll rattle
in
off
here.
some villains.
Rattle them off, Mr.
All right,
No Notes.
So we had Carmine.
By the way, Scott's doing no notes again.
Yeah.
No notes. We're just absolutely raw dogging it.
Well,
Fuck yeah.
Carmine Falcone, Victor Zaz. I love Victor Zaz,
Yeah,
by the
he
way.
was good.
Scarecrow, and
Obvious.
obviously Ra's al Ghul.
Yes.
That is like a
You're
very
missing one.
It's
a very unique, very unique, and ballsy to start
It
off
is.
like that.
Yeah, with a more niche villain for
is.
sure.
Yeah.
You're missing one though. The what was his
Earl?
name? The golf.
Mr. Earl.
Mr. Earl. Yeah.
Fuck you,
Everyone's
Mr.
going to
Earl.
be like, who the fuck is that?
Well, we can tell him.
Yeah.
Stole the business, basically.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
From when Bruce's parents died, he pretty much, not guarded, but guided the Empire.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
till he was ready, which I suppose you probably, I don't know what age it would be in America that like you're allowed to take over your family.
I would
Is
probably-
it be 21?
Yeah.
I'd presume so. That's when
assume
they're.
Yeah, anyway, he guided it up till he didn't ever take it when he was 20.
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
training and shit. So
Yeah, presumed dead.
He was
Which
gone
that's
for
great.
7 years.
I forgot
Yeah.
that bit that everyone just thought that Bruce was dead whilst he was like.
that's fucking wild, eh?
Yeah.
Imagine going like, for instance, you're in the military and you're gone for, like, you're in, you know,
Yeah.
you're doing.
So he was 23
service
when
to
he
your
left
country. Yeah.
because he was gone for 7 years and then he came back on his 30th birthday?
No,
when
he would
was
have been 29
yeah.
because he was there for a period of time before. He,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
so he would have
okay.
been like 29.
22.
22. When he
he
first
left.
left, yeah.
So like 6-7 years. Still.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's still a long time, but
There's a huge...
Just everyone thinks you're dead.
Yeah, literally.
No one really cared much either. Like when
No.
they saw him again,
They're just like,
Although-
same with your butler when you get on the plane. Oh, we presumed you were dead.
Yeah.
life is
bad.
like a tangerine.
Hello, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Michael Caine.
Do we want to talk about the cast because this
Oh,
cast
yes.
star-studded.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do it.
Please.
Well, obviously, our boy, and it earns a nug for
It
him
does.
just being in the movie, Morgan Freemos.
What a guy.
Oh, yes.
You know, his part was supposed to be played by Lawrence Fishburne.
Really?
Yeah, that's what
Wow.
they had in mind. But
Well-
when David Goyer wrote the part, he
Yeah.
wrote it for Morgan Freeman. So he said, you need to get Morgan Freeman.
A couple of years after Matrix, I guess Fishburne was coming off the hype of the Matrix. you
True.
know, and he's like, oh, yeah, boom.
Yeah, but Morgan's Morgan, man.
Morgan. Yeah.
He's got the voice.
Yeah, man.
It's a calming voice, and that's what you need when you're getting up to scientific
Especially
shit
when
in
it's
the
a
basement.
narrating part.
Yes.
Yes.
As
yeah.
big as his was, like
Yeah.
a lot of talking, a lot of like dialogue in between.
Yeah, that was
exactly
his
right. Yeah.
main role. For
Yeah, that's
sure.
his go-to.
Well, then we go to Michael Caine as well. I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
it's just two powerhouses basically lifting Bruce up. It's so good.
and
yeah.
then you have the support cast, really, of Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say best Jim Gordon ever?
He is.
Like
He's
Oh,
fantastic.
he's amazing.
There is not another Jim Gordon
Like
ever
him.
portrayed in media. I'm telling you, in fucking media, that is better than Gary Oldman.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Katie Holmes playing Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah.
She was really good.
She was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thomas Shelby was in there.
Oh, Cillian
Tom.
Murphy, Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
He was also tried to get played as Batman. The
Yeah,
lead role.
he did. I do know that piece of. There was like
That
so
would've
there
been
was like
weird.
6 people.
It
Yeah.
was the studio wanted to cast an Austin Kutcher at the time.
really
That was their first choice.
interesting.
But the Nolan didn't want
Like-
him because he did a lot of comedy shit at the time.
Yeah, rom-coms. That
Yeah.
was his,
Yeah.
that was his
that was
deal.
his genre back then.
He's coming
Yeah.
off the back of that 70s show in the 90s as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had.
Oh, and I guess it's like 5.
they had Cillian Murphy. They had
Well, so Heath Ledger obviously.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Jake would have
Henry
been cool.
Cavill.
Wait, Henry
Whoa.
Cavill back then?
Yeah, Bat
and a guy
Cavill.
named Joshua Jackson.
Wow.
Wow, someone we don't know.
Joshua
no, but he had some
Jackson.
big roles back then.
Well, if you have 2 first names, you're not cutting it in the
No.
business. No, you're out, mate. You're
and
out.
the way they decided, so that the last
Yeah.
2 were Cillian Murphy and Christian Bale, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The way they decided was they put on George Clooney's suit.
What,
and
the nipple
played out-
suit?
Yeah, and played out a part.
They played out their nipples.
Played out a scene. Yeah,
What?
for the role.
This
That
is great.
is-
This is.
We have
need you
never
on-
had good trivia. This is
Well, here
crazy.
you go, boys. We've stepped it up a level.
We need you on the podcast more often.
This is
fucking
crazy.
brilliant.
So that's how they
Wow.
did it. And they
You're blowing our minds right now.
they
you do realise that?
They thought that obviously Christian looked better in the suit. So
Yeah.
obviously they didn't design the suit yet because hello, it's fucking like 19.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was 2003 then.
Christian Bale, more like Christian Built, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a fucking rock.
We're going to talk about his physique in a minute.
Yeah,
We will talk
him getting
about
out
his
of bed and straight going into push-ups. We'll talk about that.
Oh, speaking of his physique, I mean, this has been thrown around as knowledge for a little while, but obviously he did American Psycho.
He did.
Then did The Machinist
Yep.
and got anorexic. And then
went back to
bulked up.
Batman.
How many weeks was it until he got into his bulk physique? Do you know?
There's a
I
couple
wouldn't
months,
know, but
yeah.
I know for the Machinist he
Or
was
months.
around 40, 50 kilos, and for Batman they wanted him to bulk up to 86.
Yeah.
And then in the next one he bulked up to 90 something. 91.
Yeah. He did it in like ridiculous time as well.
Oh yeah, he used to do it within like year spans.
Yeah.
Or 6 months.
No.
Christian
was fucking
Bale
ridiculous.
is such a method actor. It's like
He did.
awesome.
I can also do that, but I just choose not to.
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted
You've
to,
actually
I'd
got a
be-
sleeper build underneath there. You know,
Yeah.
You're actually
If-
fucking jacked.
I'd be like 120 if I wanted to.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, man.
And all rip, full muscle when
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
it.
What do we think about Christian Bale as playing Batman in this? Well, not a trilogy yet, but in this opening movie.
Love it. I absolutely love it. I think obviously there are parts to his performance where I go, I would change it.
Yeah.
I do that voice.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the voice.
We'll talk
do.
about the voice because it's good in some parts, but a lot of
It's
the time
cheesy in others.
It's
Yeah.
fucking cheesy. Yeah, we just have to put
But-
it out there.
Yeah, but like the good comes with the bad.
That's
you can't get it well, I mean the next movie, spoiler alert, it gets it perfect. But,
Pretty
Yeah,
much gets
yeah.
it
but that's because of another performance.
exactly right. It's like
Gary Oldman.
I think exactly. Right.
Exactly. Yeah,
Oscar
that's it.
winner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's actually when you look at it as well, it's in terms of a movie about Batman, it's the perfect like between Batman and and Bruce Wayne. It's the perfect in between.
yeah,
Yes.
Because if you think about the old Batmans or even the Batman that's just come out 2022,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's so reliant on Batman.
Yes,
You don't see the other side, the Bruce Wayne side, where all the glitz and glamour and all the downfalls and the pitfalls that he's had.
That's right.
And had to overcome to be Batman.
Yeah.
You just see, oh, he's Batman now.
He's Batman.
Yes.
Yeah, he just went through some shit. He's fine.
Yeah.
No.
No,
That's not how it works.
This goes into all of it. I think also the decision not to do that in that movie as well is because it was done so well in this movie.
And the next two are full on.
They go into Bruce Wayne so heavily.
They do.
And, you know, I think they get Bruce Wayne perfectly in this movie as well.
Plays Bruce to a T.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think he's the best Bruce Wayne, and I think he's the second best Batman.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I think
Who's the best Batman in your opinion?
Well, we can't tell because it's not a trilogy yet, but I think Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
He's pretty fucking good.
He was phenomenal. Like if you compare the first two movies, the Batman is close, but I think because of the nostalgia, the pure nostalgia fact, you know, we've had it for 20 years. I think Batman Begins wins it, but it's close.
Yeah.
And it's going to get closer as time goes on.
Of course.
Like, for instance, when you ask our generation or you say Batman, they think of the trilogy.
Yeah.
You always
And it's not even close.
It's like every millennial and then most of Generation Z.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thinks of the trilogy, the main superhero movie staple that kind of kickstarted the popularity for it.
Exactly.
In a respectable way because the superhero genre was not taken seriously at all before this movie came along.
Yeah.
Like this movie was like, boom. I would probably say, you know, they respected it after the Raimi Spider-Mans as well, but this was like...
But they had a formula before,
They
whereas
did.
this feels vastly
It's
different.
artsy.
to
They
that.
changed
Yeah.
the formula
Yeah.
for this.
It's different, and it's Nolan putting his own spin on it.
It was. Before he wrote this and it came out, he said he wanted to make it as realistic as possible.
Yeah, very
Which is
grounded.
why you see hardly any CGI.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all graphically done. It's all
Practical effects and things
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
that, right?
rather
Yeah.
than CGI. How many times have you seen blockbusters where you look at the CGI and you go, you just fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
It's shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's woeful.
like a modern Marvel movie or something like
Where
that.
much,
this
yeah.
is just, it's the simplicity of it just does it so well.
All right,
Yeah.
let's more on that. Shocking shots or fantastic shots where we went,
I'll give you a shocking one.
Yeah.
When Batman is flying over and the city is covered in the mist, like the Scarecrow
Oh,
mist, and
yeah.
yeah.
he's like not breathing out fire, but he's like, you know, when he's flying on top of them and the people are all camera angles
hallucinating. Yeah.
Yeah.
the angle of him like trying to breathe fire, shocking.
shocking.
That is a shocking shot. What about a shot where you guys were like, wow, Christopher Nolan has utilized his practical effects, his lighting, just the angles and everything, where you just go, wow, there's a piece of action right there.
Car chase.
Car chase. Oh, undeniably one of the best, if not.
That car is like known for what it is. Like the Batmobiles after are modelled on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
actually- they
Another bit of
honestly
trivia
are,
for
yeah.
you. They did that in Chicago, like the car bit.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
thought it was shot in Chicago for a little
It's
bit
Chicago.
of it. Yeah.
Some drunk driver hit that Batmobile and thought it was an alien invasion while they were filming it.
Oh, that is.
And there was camera cars behind it and everything.
That's
and he
the
thought
best.
fucking aliens were coming, so he hit the cunt.
Oh, I want to drink
That
whatever.
is
He was
Only
great.
Americans, eh?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
that's
good on
so
him,
good.
honestly. You know,
Yeah, you just see Christopher just come out and give him a firm handshake.
It's like-
you just saved them.
Well done.
if we did have aliens, you're our guy.
You just saved America, son.
That is
Oh,
great. The
no.
design of the Batmobile looks so sexy, bro.
It's
You know,
so brutal.
It's not
and-
goofy. It's just
No.
like it's a tank.
It's a mean machine.
It is a meat machine. You know what's awesome is they got it so iconic, but it's such a new, fresh design because
It is.
everything before it was just like hot rods and like
Yeah,
the muscle
souped up
cars,
cars.
Yeah.
souped up muscle cars, which is fucking awesome.
It is.
But this is like, oh, it's something, an upper echelon.
You know what it is, Scott? It's like the movie. It keeps up with the times.
It does keep up with
Yeah.
the times.
And that is a staple of this movie.
And that's what a billionaire would do in that situation.
Yes.
I feel like they wouldn't just go for a Corolla or
No,
something.
No.
clearly not, Ben. Maybe they would to blend in.
The Batmobile, and it's just got a little Batman sticker on the bumper bar.
You know when they're in the scene and he's
Yeah.
driving to the fancy party in that Lamborghini?
Yeah.
You know the type of car that is? It's a Lamborghini Murcielago.
Oh, yeah.
thought
That's
so.
Spanish for bat.
Spanish for bat.
It is.
Wow.
That's why they use that car.
That's very
We got to get you on every
This is
week,
good.
man.
This is too good.
great.
This podcast is
I'm dropping
already...
trivia left, right, and centre, motherfuckers.
It's so good.
You know what would be mad though is like sinking a couple of bevs with the boys and going for a ride in the Batmobile.
Oh.
Imagine drunk driving that. God, that would be peak.
I mean, he basically was like he was drunk driving because
Yeah,
he
he
took
was.
out a fucking police,
How about
multiple police
when
cars.
he's testing it and he's like, what's that? And he's like, oh, the tumbler? Oh, you wouldn't like that. He's like, you see that button right here? That's the boost. And he just pushes it.
That's when they're testing it.
Oh, that's
Here's
great.
a point about the Batmobile though.
Please.
So there's a point where Rachel's with the Scarecrow, right? And he's
Yeah.
like spying on her, just like being a little cuck in the corner watching her.
Oh, yeah.
At further to the end, right?
Yeah.
And right when Scarecrow like gasses her, he knows that he has the gas, right? That Batman knows, and he has the antidote at this point.
Yes.
You reckon you just keep the antidote in your car just in case?
Yeah.
Ruins the car
Well,
chase scene.
yeah.
Ruins the car chase scene, but
Oh, it's a good point of logic, right?
is.
I wouldn't want that to happen.
No.
Okay, so I'm saying something stupid, but
No, but in
He
reality...
cares for Rachel, though. So you would think that that's what he would do.
you'd think he'd be like, oh, I feel like she might get gassed here. She's with a bad dude. Maybe I'll just keep one of the antidotes in my car.
Yeah, just in case.
Well, no one's getting in the car.
Even his utility belt.
Yeah, true.
No, you're not doing on the utility
Well,
belt.
yeah,
what
because
if it
you're
gets
flying
smashed?
around and getting smashed.
There's
I
two.
know, that's pretty.
Scott,
Nah.
he was literally fighting like 20 blokes.
Yeah.
I reckon he could keep it in his nut
Someone's
area.
going for
Okay,
a nut
look,
shot.
Scott's being unrealistic. Ben and I, who are realistic
Yeah.
and have a point on this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you could figure out a way. If you're a billionaire, you could put it in there and just be like, "Hey,
What,
there you
wrap
go.
it in fucking
Oh.
glad wrap and say, here you go.
Like you did last night's dinner.
Bubble wrap. Yeah, put
Don't
it in
help me
bubble
like
wrap.
that, brother.
Imagine that. Someone goes to kick him. No. Not that.
No. Hold
No,
on. Let me
stop.
take this out first.
Stop.
Not the antidote.
Shut up.
Oh no, sorry, mate. Sorry, I won't kick you there. All right, just aim for the head.
Yeah.
But not a point I agree with because we wouldn't have the car chase scene. Just something to bring up.
Just something to bring
for,
up.
Just for shits and giggles, mate.
Well,
I respect
that is
that.
true.
Yeah.
But he did know about it at that point.
Yeah.
The gas, because he'd been gassed himself, and then he knew that Rachel was
Everyone's
trying to
getting
see
gassed.
Carbone. He's
Yeah,
like,
everyone was getting gas at that point.
You gassed us out at the end of the movie too.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
dirty
dude.
fuck.
Fuck with.
Oh, just a
Right on this chair that I'm sitting on now. So
Yeah.
for the listeners.
Now Adam probably is like soaking up your,
Yeah,
your shit particles.
I'm dying here, listeners. Help me.
From blue to brown. That's all I say.
Bleeds
Fuck
brown.
off. Now I'm going to be brown.
All right, I've got a special segment for both of you right now,
Ooh, okay.
and you guys are gonna fucking love it. We're doing Gadget O'Clock here.
Fuck
with
yeah.
Adam Jones,
Gadget
master
O'Clock.
of gadgets.
Shout out gadgets, man.
Oh, shout out.
Okay,
Fuck yeah.
let's
Some
rattle off
gadgets.
some gadgets.
Okay, the utility belt.
A classic, an absolute classic.
Yeah.
Would
Beautiful.
you count the Batmobile as a gadget? Because that's a fucking big gadget.
Yeah.
I would
But
say-
it has
it-
sub gadgets in it as well.
Yeah. Subfolders of its gadgetry.
He had the grapple gun,
The grapple gun.
which
Oh,
I think's his favourite gadget.
would we call
Yeah,
it the
yeah.
grapple gun or the bat claw?
Batclaw.
Depending on what the
No,
law
the
is.
nerds are going to come at us. Call
Yeah,
It's the bat claw.
the bat
It's the bat
claw.
claw.
Yeah.
Obviously,
The
batarangs.
Batarangs, yep. Which took on a different form in this. I mean, like, there was still the iconic, but like, you know,
How
they were
about
made himself.
the sonar for the bats on the bottom of his shirt?
That was kinda
That's
very
a very
cool.
good gadget.
That was sick.
Very cool.
Trivia for you.
Oh, yes.
The bats in that movie were... So they obviously weren't controlled by his foot, but
No.
they had sonar technology that controlled the bats. And then you know the
I thought there was
bats...
CGI. Those-
No.
But wasn't there... There would have been some CGI.
Yeah,
for the
there was
bats,
some,
yeah.
but they had
Yeah.
a whole flock of them.
Right.
And then, you know, the single ones?
Yeah.
That were like, for instance, the one that was flying around in his...
Yeah.
Yeah, they purposely let that in there
That's so cool.
and trapped it in there.
Wow. Oh.
And then controlled it, with sonar and stuff.
Yeah, they had sonar technology back then, so they used that to like obviously track them away and come into that building. Oh shit!
No,
don't
come
worry
into
about
that building.
boot sonar.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
That is sick.
So when you like think it is sonar.
Yeah.
Like what he's using at that time, it is true.
That's insanity.
He's crazy, man.
So that was a cool gadget.
That's
Yeah.
probably
Because
the cool, most creative
It
one.
is.
Yeah.
And that
just trying
scene
to
was
think-
sick, where he's like falling down,
Yeah.
and all the police are like, "Oh god!"
he just fucking walks past like 40 of them.
Yeah,
Can we talk about his cape though? That's a massive gadget.
That is a
And that
very
is-
good gadget.
that's a
That's,
good
an
gadget.
iconic gadget in
Yeah.
this movie or in this trilogy.
Yes, I mean like the electromagnetic. Is that what is
Yeah,
that?
it's
The
field.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
field
Like the material just.
molecules. That's the word. It's
Yeah.
the electro.
Oh, we love some molecules.
Yeah.
here.
The
Butts to nuts.
electromagnetic molecules that band together to make shapes.
yeah.
So
yeah.
in the movie, they obviously made like swags and shit with them because they were meant for soldiers.
Wags.
But he obviously makes it to his own cape, and then what he does really cleverly is he attaches it to
Yeah.
like, the gloves.
Yeah.
So when he fans out, it fans out the wing. When
Yeah.
he closes it off,
It's too good.
So
Yeah.
smart. He had those little explodey balls that he could
Yes.
throw
Yeah,
when he
that's
like
right.
broke out of Arkham. That was kind of
Literally
sick.
like
That
a
was
fucking
good.
hand grenade, but better.
yeah, yeah.
Basically, yeah, bat grenade or something like that. You just put bat in front of everything, and then
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. The bat cape, the bat cowl,
Yeah.
the bat boots.
Well, he had like little bat mics so that he could like hear people. That
yeah.
was-
So
There
1-2-1-2.
There is a gadget, I believe. It is in the next movie that is a game changer.
Oh yes.
If you know what I'm thinking.
Is it that one?
And the sonar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, there is one lame gadget though.
What is it?
It's where he's it's the bat phone where he's trying to ring Alfred.
Alfred!
He opens up his
Alfred!
little Nokia and he's like, Alfred.
He should just have it on
It's
his
because
wrist
it's
or something.
indestructible. That's why he has it.
Yeah, true.
No, you're putting some
Of
logic behind it.
course.
No one thought of everything.
Wow.
He's a fucking mastermind.
He had it in-
Should we get on to the second segment that I had planned? Should we just go 1-2?
Why
Yeah.
not?
Straight away?
Yabby pump, 1, 2,
Yeah,
jab,
yeah.
jab.
Okay, and welcome to Shoutouts with Adam Jones,
Fuck
featuring
yeah.
on the Butts to Nuts podcast. Now, we're going to shout out some moments.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, shout out.
Shout out some moments, shout out some people,
Shout out some shout outs.
shout out some shout outs, shout out hand jobs, inside joke. You won't know that one.
Yeah, no, you won't get it.
No,
It's fine.
I don't even know.
No,
It's too
you will
deep.
later.
You will. You will when you grow up.
You have to pay for that one.
Patreon users, get on it.
You'll know when you go on a houseboat on the river.
Hand jobs are hand jobs, baby. Riley, Malcolm, if you're listening, you know.
Hi, Malcolm.
Hi, Riley and Malcolm. and
shout-
Tyson.
Shout out the boys.
Yeah, shout out to all the boys. Anyway, we're not talking about the boys. We're talking about the movie.
Alfred. Shout out
Shout out
Alfred.
Alfred for being such a G and always pulling through.
He is Bruce's new dad, isn't he? When
Running-
his dad, oh, obviously his dad passed away, but like, you know, it's reiterated so many times in the movie that, you know, you still never giving up on me. And
running
he just
through a
says,
flaming
never.
building.
I'll never give up on you.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
It's
literally.
like a tangerine.
What's all of them bloody push-ups for if you can't even lift a fucking log? Like, mate, that's a fucking beam. That's not a log. That's like probably 300 kilos. And one bloke just fucking lifted it.
That's the kind of guy you want to save your
Yeah,
life.
like, what are you fucking doing, you
And he,
twit?
he clobbers
giving
that
you-
dude as well. I hope you're not a part of the fire brigade.
Because you haven't done your job.
He's giving you critical emotional support. And that's what Alfred is there for. Always bringing, not bringing back.
Well, he's bringing the logic.
Yeah,
He's
that's
the
right.
logic.
yeah, he's helping Bruce's back
He's got that dog. man.
emotionally.
He has
He's
got that dog
in
in
him.
Yeah, that British dog. He's the British bulldog. That's my Alfred.
It's good. Shout outs to obviously Morgan Freeman, but his character, Lucius,
Lucius
was
Fox. Yeah, Lucius Fox.
for there's a different part of like I can't even remember seeing Lucius in any Batman media. I'm sure he's in it somewhere, but like
No,
it's,
it's the next movie he's in.
no, but like as in comics and things like that.
Oh, sorry.
This was my first introduction to his character when I first watched it when I was a kid and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I think it was cool having someone else sort of take like the sciencey gadgety side and introducing Bruce to it.
Yeah.
So now he can take it on himself because you saw like he was introduced to all this
I
technology.
like how they did that part.
And-
I like, you know, it's a staple of the superhero.
and it all
Yes,
all
yeah.
It's too genuinely overlooked.
Yeah,
that
that's
he
right.
just has all this shit.
and it all belongs to his family too, which
Yeah.
is so cool.
The way I see it, Mr. Wayne, you already own this anyway.
I love that as well that he didn't have to develop all of it. Like some
No.
people are like, oh, why isn't Bruce making it? But he does. He improves the stuff
Yeah.
that Wayne's already built.
Exactly right.
And you literally see that in the movie.
It
Yeah.
gives him kind
He
of like the
paints
blueprints
and-
for it, right? He's
That is what
introducing
I
you to
love about it. Shows every detail. You don't miss a detail.
No, you
No.
don't. Yeah.
He really goes to the depths of showing you what it's about
He shows you. He shows you.
thoroughly.
Do we have any more shout outs that you guys would love to bring to the table?
I can't because my missus will probably hear this next and listen. So, but fuck it, shout out Rachel. Yeah,
Rachel! Yeah.
She was
Who,
hot.
she doesn't come back in the next movie. Spoiler, and they get a fucking little underplayer.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
a new Rachel. This is the best Rachel. Big shout outs, Rachel.
Katie
And
Holmes.
Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
Gave Bruce lots of great advice throughout the movie. What was the catchphrase? Not the catchphrase, the saying that she said.
It's
What,
not. It's not what you do. It's no.
It's something.
No. It's not what you do underneath. It's what you do that defines you, or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, your actions do it.
It's like actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, pretty
it's
much.
along the same saying, same premise as that.
She also said the bad people get paid and the good people stay scared. And I was like, oof.
Well, the thing I liked
yeah.
about Rachel's character is she actually showed Bruce what he's going. He was away for so long; he has no idea.
Yeah.
She goes to the depths to show him what is really going on. So he has to make him Ra's al Ghul says, if you make yourself more than just a man, an idea, you
Yeah.
can become something else entirely.
You
which
know-
is exactly what she does.
Yeah, she does.
shows him that Gotham is in a bad place.
Yeah.
So you need to become something to the people that they can look up to, and then that's someone can fight this.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is not a person; it's a symbol.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
is
fucking
exact-
wisdom with
That's
Adzi here.
exactly
That
what
deserves
this
a round of
movie is
applause.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what Batman is. He's
Yeah.
a symbol. Yeah.
He's like Bruce says on the plane. If I can be a symbol, I'll be incorruptible. I'll be, I can't be put in jail.
No,
Yeah.
that's right. You know what's awesome as well is all these I would call them pillar characters.
Yeah.
They all create Batman.
And they all intertwine perfectly.
That's right. Like, obviously, Bruce has his fear that he has to overcome, but you've got Ra's al Ghul giving him the skills, Alfred giving him the heart.
And the knowledge.
And the knowledge. You know, you've got Lucius giving him the technology and ability to do these incredible things. And then Rachel, the
morals.
Yeah.
and reminding him what it is to be different from the rest. I love
The big
that whole
thing with her was it was not about getting revenge.
No, it's the moral compass of
Exactly.
just getting justice. True justice is about harmony, she said, not about revenge.
Which is what ends up happening in the end.
Yeah, that's it. So good. Oh, beautifully written.
Boys, favourite scene.
Favorite scene?
Oh, favorites. You know what? I really like the end fight against
That is, that
On
is-
the Wayne train?
on the Wayne train.
That's a classic.
That is a hot scene, man.
You know, when
Yeah.
he says, I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you either. And just flies off.
Oh, yeah. like an absolute
yeah.
Chad.
and just like
see a
glides
And then
out.
fucking old mate thinks he's going to survive a fucking 100-foot train crash.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
closes his eyes. Nah, you're not surviving that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no way, man.
He thinks he's going to turn into a Force ghost or something like that. Qui-Gon Jinn. Sorry, bud. You don't have your Force powers here.
Fuck, imagine the property
By the way,
damage.
actor we forgot to mention, Liam Neeson.
Oh, Liam
One of the
Neeson.
goats.
yeah, true, yeah. How do we...
How did we forget that? Probably
Yeah.
because he's fucking so good.
He's
that we-
disguised. He has a
True,
moustache.
that
We
is
didn't
true.
recognize him.
and he looks Mongolian.
He does look Mongolian. Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, however you want to pronounce it, I think means head of the demon or something like that. It's
Really?
It's translated to demon head or head of the demon along those lines, which is pretty cool because he is literally the evil personification of Batman.
What about you, favourite scene?
I was going to ask Scott.
What about you, favourite scene?
My favorite
I'll
scene.
do mine last.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
I really like the scene at the start when Bruce is in the prison and he gets like the mouldy cauliflower put on his plate. Yeah, that's a good scene right
And then
there.
he fights in the mud.
Then he fights in the mud.
He
Fights
beats
all
up
muddy.
like 6 blokes.
Yeah, that's right. They're
My
like,
favourite scene is probably him getting into the fountain with the ladies.
The ladies.
Like he's pissed off his head and he's just like, yep, I'll go for a swim. I'll buy the hotel. Doesn't matter. Rules.
Didn't you say something about Batman as well? They were like, what do you think about Batman?
Oh, yeah, and he's like, a guy that dresses up
that's
okay,
ridiculous.
that's ridiculous.
in a bat costume.
got
He's clearly got some problems.
That's right. I got some issues there.
He's got some issues.
he was channeling Patrick Bateman in that
He
scene.
was, yeah.
Oh, that was incredible.
I think he did it a couple of times.
Especially with Bruce,
Yes.
he did it. Oh, I loved it how he basically told everyone that were friends with his father and stuff to fuck off out of his house.
Patrick Bateman moment.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
Patrick Bateman
that was
moment.
sick.
Shout out
to that.
Were you guys sad that Wayne Manor burnt down? Or were you like,
I was a bit,
Yeah.
but then
because he's going to build it back.
I was
brick by
actually
brick,
no,
though.
but this is the thing I'm going to ask you, right? I was
Yeah.
thinking about this last night. So when you like, say for instance, like bushfires, right? Common here in Australia
Yeah.
for the overseas listeners.
Yes.
If your house burns down, you know how fucking hard it is to get the bricks back that were to your house. Like, you know how fucking hard that is.
Yeah,
So when
yeah,
he
but-
says, obviously, it could be different in England or wherever.
Oh,
Wayne Manor is.
in Gotham.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Which is basically England.
yeah, it could be. Well, it was
Gotham's
fucking
like-
Buckingham Castle or something that filmed it. So England, shout out. But
Shout out.
like, it's I don't know if it's the same in England.
You're just
but it's
talking
actually,
about the logistics here. It's
yeah, I
fucking
am.
ridiculously
it's fucking,
hard.
I know he's a billionaire, so it probably won't matter because he'll find something.
He snaps his fingers and bricks just appear.
Yeah,
But Christopher Nolan actually burnt down Buckingham Palace.
yeah. Shout out. That's a bold move.
Christopher
You
Nolan
know,
actually-
all those earnings from the movie, they're like, fuck's sake, Christopher, we're gonna have to build that back up now. We've just gone in net loss.
Rip Lizzie.
Lizzie died twice. This is an undercover experiment.
We'll drink to that.
People, we're here for you. We're actually under. This is a bigger plot than you think.
It's a conspiracy podcast now.
You know what I loved about this movie, though, is how it went into the lore of the League of Shadows a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And talked about how they're a generational thing. They took Rome down. They burnt
London to
London
the
down.
ground.
That's just
It's like their
Yeah,
fate.
that's right.
Their fate. They
Yeah.
are the people that restore the balance.
That's right.
Which I kind of...
I think's a bit.
Are you against him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of
Oh,
makes
yeah,
it like that
cool.
because you're like, no, but he's right. It's like Thanos. Like restore balance to what is necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like too many mouths to go around.
League
Too
of
many
Shadows did
people.
9/11.
Yeah.
Like people are getting too high, people are getting too low. The gap's too big.
Yeah.
You've got to quantify that somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing the worst thing. Scott just said they did 9/11, but...
Right, Scott. Each to their own.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just rattling off.
We're going to fly this plane straight into a building.
Liam, they hit the second tower.
Liam, come help. I cannot help you on this quest.
Yeah.
Favorite scene.
Okay. This is a bit underrated, but it's... So when he defeats... The first time when he shows himself as Batman, obviously in the container lot, if you
Yeah.
haven't watched the movie,
Yeah.
it's when he's on top of the building. So the scene after,
Yeah,
he's almost announcing himself as Batman to the city.
Yes.
As I am your protector now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's just put Falcon... Like he's showing the people that I'm in business.
Oh, that's so cool as well. Like the swinging
Yeah,
shot of
the
him
music.
just like looking over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favourite shot.
Oh
of the movie.
man, yeah, that's a big shout out right there.
As a first watch as well, you'd think that it would be focused on Falcone, and then I love it how they bring back like Ra's
Yeah,
al
exactly.
Ra's al Ghul like
Yeah.
in the end as well, and
Yeah.
it weaves in. It's like the fear gas. It's like, where the fuck's this all leading to? And it's like Scarecrow's actually working for the League of Shadows, but
Yeah.
like just
It's all linked.
It's all linked.
The way that you find out each
Yeah,
step.
you're like, oh fuck.
And then
There's
when
another thing.
when it gets to the end where it's like, oh, we're gonna destroy the city, which they foreshadowed at the
Yeah,
start of
yeah.
we want to destroy Gotham, but you sort of forget about that. you
Yeah,
know?
because you're so focused in the now.
Yeah, and,
That's
and
right.
then they bring it all back. It's like, whoa, man.
It's such a nice little turn in the plot, and I think hats off to Nolan for expanding the villain roster so massively, but doing it so linear and great feeling the whole way. It didn't feel like it was just put in for fan service.
No.
Everything served a purpose for the plot.
Well,
And
that is Christopher Nolan, isn't it?
that is him. But the great thing is, by the end of this trilogy, you have this real nice, juicy villain roster that you can go,
Yeah.
wow, this, and this. All these characters are in it.
And they were all served correctly.
That's
to
right.
the purpose.
to the
Yeah.
purpose of
There's no
their own-
shortcuts. There's no...
That's
no.
right.
Yeah, I feel like the length is good as well in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
you know?
it's perfect. All right, what's your earliest memory of watching this movie? You have to ask because it's an oldie.
I was at my cousin's. I would have been...
Deep lore here.
I would have been 10, 11. And I remember Dad being there.
Yeah.
But he wasn't fucking interested. He was
Tony's
probably
like,
drinking beer or
"Fuck this,
something.
man."
And we watched... It was over Christmas time. I remember that.
Yeah.
It wasn't when it first came out. It was a couple... No, it would have been. I think it was maybe... Yeah, it would have been a long time after, actually. Because
Yeah.
2005, I was 4.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
it would have been like maybe 6 years after.
Yeah,
Because I
okay.
was 10, 11.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when I first remembered it.
Yes.
I think we would have been about. You were way younger when you first saw. You would have been like 6 or something.
Was that 1967? It was a winter's day.
We actually watched Batman Begins for the first time in Glenora, if
There
you
you
remember
go.
correctly.
I don't know.
You don't
Well, there
remember
you
that?
go. Bit of
was-
trivia for you, Ben.
That's where we watched it. I remember.
He's doing it now as well.
That's a bit of
Trivia either sides. Ben's got a segment coming up.
Yeah, all angles, mate.
Ben trivia for you, everybody there. A bit of deep Charlesworth lore.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think we've covered this movie pretty well, and it's just you know going into it, as soon as you see the bats fly across the screen and like the massive
Yeah.
bat created
Symbol.
with bats, you know you're in for a treat.
Do you think that Ra's al Ghul is a memorable villain?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I
I think he
agree.
is.
And
I think it's because he's continually a part of the story.
Yeah,
I also feel that they couldn't have done him in any other movie. He
No.
needed to be the first one
Yes.
because he would have been overshadowed by a Joker or a Bane
Yes,
as the
I
first
agree.
villain.
Yeah,
agree.
that's right. If they did him in like the third movie, the only way that they could have done it was introducing Talia and introducing a Ra's al Ghul plot
Yeah,
point.
but that's a fuckfest because it's the third film, so you
just
want it
saying-
to end off nicely.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's right.
You're
Like
right.
it does.
Theoretically,
Yeah.
theoretically, say like
But I get what you mean.
if
you
you
have
didn't
to,
have Bane or Catwoman in
Yeah.
that.
You'd have to get the whole entourage in.
Yeah, you'd have to get the whole entourage, but you would have to have Talia in it to make it work, and you'd have to have the Lazarus Pit thing.
Yes.
where that's a big motivation for Ra's al Ghul in the comics. Is he
Even in
he's-
the games.
He's immortal. He dies, hops in the pit, fucking comes out of youth.
Even in the
Yeah,
games,
yeah,
it's the same.
yeah. So it's a bit of a question. It's never.
I think he's a good not stepping stone villain. That sounds bad, but like
No, I get
a
what you
build-up
mean.
villain.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly right, yeah.
His villain character creates a lot of hype.
yeah,
And especially with the little Easter egg of the Joker card at the end of the movie.
that's perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
You know what you're gonna get.
Exactly right.
Didn't have time to thank you. You never have to.
You never have to.
Before we end, one last funny thing
Okay.
where he's getting trained by. Are we saying Raishal or Razal? It's a bit
Raish,
late now.
Raish. We're saying Raish. Even though it says Raz in the movie, it's Ra's al Ghul.
Racial Ghoul.
Racial.
Just change his
Yeah,
name.
Racist Ghoul.
Racist Ghoul. He's at the end of the training trying to get Bruce to chop that farmer's head off.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Bruce is like, no, I'm not going to kill him. And then obviously tries to escape. But in doing that, just kills like probably an extra 15
I literally
people.
said in that scene, I'm like, this is Jack Sparrow literally fighting fucking everyone. There's just shit going on everywhere.
But
It's the most Jack Sparrow thing ever.
It is. It literally is. You know, like you could almost dub the music over the top of it, and it would just fit perfectly. But yeah, so he actually goes against his moral code there and blows everybody up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Do you want to have a guess what the budget was for this movie?
Oh, that's good.
I'm going to say 100.
You got to think. You got to think because it's 2005.
Yeah.
So you got to think of the times.
80 million. 80 million.
Okay, Scott. Oh, come on, get your voice in check.
I would say 95 million.
No.
Okay, it's
150.
Oh, that was my
That was
second
close.
guess. That's my second guess.
But Nolan only used 100 of it.
Oh, what's your guess
you
for the
kept the
budget?
100.
Oh, fuck, he's good.
Never get anything wrong.
there
man.
we are. There we go.
Do you have any final trivias before we get into some trivias? You said Iceland before.
You did
proud.
say
Yeah,
Iceland.
so the first scene, listeners and viewers, the first scene, the first whole scene, it's like 40 minutes long, 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
in Iceland. And they made that whole League of Shadows building.
Cool.
They built that.
That
Yeah.
is sick.
They
Did they actually
did.
blow it up as well?
Yeah.
And they built it in the shadows. They
Yeah.
weren't allowed to build it in the
No,
daylight.
not in the day.
No.
In the shadows.
Yeah.
Literally. I'm just trying to think if I have.
He has
Obviously, we're forgetting as well Hans Zimmer with the music.
Yeah,
Oh
Zimmer.
shit! Yes, of course. The bat. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you guys. How do you rate this Batman theme?
It's pretty awesome.
It is
Pretty
very
fucking-
awesome. It's very distinctive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because I have like recent Batman fever where I'm like, oh, I love that one, but this
Yeah.
has got to be one of the best.
Yeah.
It has. All right, my favorite Batman score of all time though is from the Arkham games.
Oh,
It's that just sitting in the menu and just having the just like yeah.
My
give me more.
favorite Batman theme's the 1989 one with Michael Keaton.
Actually, no, that is good.
That's
is
my
really,
favourite.
that is, yeah.
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 that's
I have
so good.
one more bit of trivia, and then you can.
Yeah,
take it.
no, please.
So when they're, you know how they obviously have to build all the props and all the scenes and some of the cities and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It took them 10 months to build that, and they had to hire 2 of the biggest air hangers in the world to build it.
That's amazing.
Holy shit.
So they're side by side.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
in England somewhere, I don't know where. But yeah, 2 of the longest air hangers you can think of, and it took them 10 months to build it.
Holy shit.
Fucking hell. That would be a fun job building.
And you
Yeah.
and you see it, like they showed it on YouTube, like there's the train lines going around the buildings in the middle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, they
Yeah.
built. Oh, fuck, bro. They're crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
See, that's why it looks so good as well.
Yeah.
And not that, like, movies from 2000
Don't look good.
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
it's. You'd still think, oh,
As something as realistic as that is, you want it to look the part.
Exactly
And that's
right.
why
yeah.
it's standard the tell of time,
Yeah.
where others have faded.
well, shall we get into some of. We got
good.
even more trivia. I got trivia.
Let's get
as
some
well.
more trivia. This
Yeah.
is Trivia the podcast today, actually.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Sponsored by Trivia and hosted by Trivia.
Fuck, we've got sponsors today.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Hot Chocky Milk, Tuies.
Durex. Christian Bale performed many of his own stunts, but he wasn't allowed anywhere near the Batmobile. So
Really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
That's fucked.
They had
Imagine
a-
not being able to drive that.
They had a pro driver. I guess he wasn't a pro.
That's minus half a nug for me.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Shit.
Daddy Bale.
Get
Yeah.
it out of there.
Down to 11. Writer and director Christopher Nolan decided there would be no second unit, so he oversaw
Yes.
every shot.
That was
personally.
one of my
Wow.
trivia points.
Yeah, there you go. Stole it.
Very good.
Good thing I didn't say it.
Yeah,
I was going to
fuck.
say it. Yeah. So you know how in like all the blockbusters they have 2 camera crews to get like 2 angles. pretty
Yes.
much?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
but
No,
now
shout
I'm-
out to mowing.
no shit. This is very close mowing now.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck!
Fuck it, it's the end of the podcast.
Oh, who gives a shit?
You cunts can deal with some mums.
Anyway, yeah.
It's been going the whole time anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he oversaw everything because he wanted it to be perfect. So he had 1 camera crew.
One camera. That's good. One camera crew. That's good. Imagine being on site and getting to travel to all of those countries with this awesome budget of the time.
Yeah.
And just basically getting to do whatever the fuck you
That
want.
would have been one of the biggest budgets at the time, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, huge. Yeah, because back
How
in
much did
2005...
Sam Raimi Spider-Man get? Just like one of the movies.
What, like, box office wise?
Yeah.
Budget
What,
comparison.
Man, between budget or box
Budget.
office? Alright, budget.
It'll probably do better at the box office.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, let me do 2. Let me just really get it.
Oh, no.
With a production budget of 200 million.
Yeah, so more than that.
Yeah, wow.
Fuck,
So
I know.
that'd probably be the only like example of higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That'd be the only outlier. Sorry, that's what I was thinking of.
Because
Yeah.
like movies are so freaking expensive now.
Yeah,
But they
That-
used a
yeah.
lot of more CGI and stuff.
Well, true, that costs
Yeah.
more, obviously.
Yeah.
Where this one is hardly any. So.
Yeah. I love that he's just ballsy enough to just use practical
Do it.
effects. And
Yeah.
it always, you can
You can tell the difference.
stuff that's tangible.
Yeah.
It pays off
100%.
tenfold. I think that's also just touching on Transformers, why Michael, like, you got to give credit to Michael Bay with his explosions and stuff.
Yeah.
Where he merges CGI and practical
Yes.
stuff together.
The
and,
timing.
Like similar sort of stuff, but Nolan's just like, yeah, let's just get it all real.
That's why
Let's
Michael
do
Bay's
it.
doing the Skibbity toilet movie.
Yep.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
hear
I
about
did.
that.
Unfortunately.
Last one of trivia. Christian Bale revealed in interviews that his first scene with Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman that he fell asleep after getting ready for the scene. Bale described waking up to find Caine poking him in the ribs, saying, "Look at that, he's bloody fallen asleep."
He's bloody falling asleep, you
at that.
twat.
He's bloody falling asleep.
He's falling asleep,
Bloody
you
falling
twat.
So I thought that is just amazing.
That's a
comedy
classic.
gold.
Imagine waking up to Michael Caine poking you.
It's not even with his hand, it's with his walking stick.
Look at that.
Hey!
He's bloody fold
He
asleep.
just wakes up. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "You're supposed to be playing Batman, bro. Get on set.
Come
Go."
on, Raz.
That's amazing.
Letterbox time?
Letterbox
time.
Yeah, let's see what the people think.
That is true.
Alright, Mama says, throat cancer Batman is the best Batman. 4 stars. So,
Big shout out.
oh my god.
Rachel.
Behind you. Whatever the guy's like, where are you? And it's like, behind you. Or whatever it was.
Where are you? Here. Alfred. On the Nokia.
Best gadget.
That is the best gadget.
That's good product placement right there.
Yeah, that is 100%.
Nokia survives the rain.
Yes.
Proves that it is truly unbreakable, like a Hilux.
Adam Bolt says, instead of turning him into a demon, the fear gas should have given the batsuit nipples. So, 3.5 stars. Oh, what about
That's
the
good.
weird fear Batman where he was like,
Yeah.
had the goo coming
Going
out of
from
his
the
mouth?
mouth.
Hot tar coming out.
Yeah,
of
that
his-
was
Yeah,
kind of
that
sick.
was a bit.
yeah.
That was wild.
That was a bit sexual.
And Will says, imagine thinking that the Dark Knight trilogy isn't the best Batman adaptation. 4.5 stars.
Awesome.
Will's
Very
got
cool.
Homer
Very good.
Simpson as his the stoned Homer Simpson as his profile pic, so he seems pretty cool.
You know he's speaking facts there.
He is, yeah.
All right, it's coming down to crunch time. It's a big one.
This
today.
is a blockbuster.
This is a blockbuster.
Records could be broken.
Monumental.
We could see a 12.
You're allowed to do that. You are allowed to
honestly,
do that.
guests can give whatever scores they want.
Fuck yeah.
I'm saving a 12 for the next one.
Yeah, same. Shout out, we're not doing that.
All right. I think it's only fair that Ben goes first.
Well, this is an amazing movie, but I believe the next...
I don't like the butt.
No. I just believe that, from my opinion, the next two are even better. So
yeah,
I got to
okay.
I can't give it the same score. I'm giving it 8.5.
That's very good.
Yeah. So big things to come is all I'm saying.
Scott?
Okay, look, man, I think I'm with you. Just half a nug below you, though. I'm gonna give this 8 nugs out of 10.
You've never clapped. It's incredible.
But we're clapping. Right.
Please, Mr. Jones.
Well, considering this movie is a staple in the trilogy, it is the first one in the trilogy. Sets the trilogy up.
It does.
I'm going to go with Ben, and I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Yeah!
8.5 nugs out of 10.
That's what we're talking about.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking see you next week.
Woo!
This is the end of the episode. Thank you for listening to the Butts to Nuts podcast.
If you enjoyed the podcast and want to support us, you can do any number of these 3 things.
Number 1. Tell a friend, a family member, or even a random person off the street to listen to our podcast. Number 2.
Leave a review. The higher the better.
Number 3. Follow and support us on our social media platforms, being Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all with the usernames Butts to Nuts.
Again, thank you for listening. See you next week.